EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for December 29th, 2021. Today's video forecast is sponsored by the Walters and Zirinsky team at Keller Williams Real Estate with over 20 years of real estate experience, serving not only the Lehigh Valley and Poconos, but also portions of Berks, Bucks, Carbon, Monroe, and Schuylkill counties. Reach out to the Walters Zirinsky team at Keller Williams Real Estate to get your up-to-the-minute local real estate forecast on inventory, market conditions, current rates, and pricing. See for yourself what Michael and Sarah can do for you and what sets them apart in the real estate industry. They can be reached at 610-867-8888, proud sponsors of the Wednesday forecast video. So we are in the midst of this bombardment of waves, short waves, coming in, but unfortunately for you snow lovers, it is not in the form of snow for the most part. We had a couple waves that gave us some wintry mix type stuff, maybe a little bit of snow last night here across far northern Pennsylvania, but for the vast majority of us, we have been seeing rain out of these as a predominant precipitation type. Okay, we had little bouts of snow, but nothing that is really amounting to much. So that's going to continue for the next several days because we don't have anything through the holiday weekend, through this Sunday, that is in the form of frozen from this point forward. Okay, so we will be definitely warmer than average. That we're expecting temperatures to be quite warm over the next couple of days. Here is today 40 to 50, and is a spread from north to south, and 44 to 52 is a spread here on Thursday. Okay, both days we have just cloudy listed, but there will be an opportunity for an early shower this morning in spots, and then just remaining cloudy the rest of the day. Thursday, for the most part, is cloudy, but you could have a passing shower or two. I just don't have an icon here that shows just that, maybe a little raindrop with the cloud. So we'll just leave it at that. So just to clarify, you'll have the opportunity for a shower on Thursday, especially when we get into the evening and early part of the overnight on Thursday night. So here's today. We have the rain pretty much away from the region. It's just going to be cloudy for the most part, except for that early shower. And again, we're remaining in the 40s for the most part, except for far southeast. We might get to near 50 degrees. And then here's Thursday. Really get same thing, same idea. Once we get to the evening, you have a few showers popping up here as another one of these little weak waves moves through. Here's the NAM high-res Future Simulator radar starting us off this morning. And this is looking at 9 a.m. So you have a few spotty showers still hanging around in a few spots. Continuation of what was falling overnight. But then after that, we're just cloudy the rest of the day, and that's it. Then we get to Thursday. Overnight tonight, we have in our far southern areas, very far southern areas, you could have a few showers with this wave moving off to our south, mainly for Delaware and southern New Jersey. And then again, Thursday is mostly just a passing shower, but mostly cloudy, just cloudy most of the day for the entire region. It's not until we get to the evening and part of the overnight have a few showers that are popping through again in the overnight. These is all in the form of rain, though. It's going to be too warm for any wintry precipitation. But then once we get to Friday, that's out of here. Now, Friday, originally we had hopes it would be a partly cloudy day. Now it looks like it's going to be a mostly cloudy day. Not complete overcast. You might see some peaks of sun here and there, but don't get too excited because I don't think you're going to see much sun until we get to early next week, okay? Our next big system, though, is going to come in here on Saturday. Might start as early as very late Friday night, but the newer NAM is indicating this is going to hold off until Saturday morning. And initially, we're going to have a warm front move through that's going to give us periods of rain during the day here on Saturday. Low pressure moving well off to our west and cutting through the Great Lakes off to our northwest. So that means we're going to be on the very warm side of this. So we're going to have some pretty warm temperatures on Saturday. Some temperatures that are going to be well into the 50s. And in some places in our far southeastern areas will be in the lower 60s, it looks like. So this is, yes, your calendar is correct. This is talking about New Year's Day, all right? So we're starting off 2022 on a very, very warm note, it looks like. This will be, could be one heck of a snowstorm for the Chicago area or general vicinity up southern Wisconsin all the way up through the northern half of Michigan. So they're going to get a pretty good snowstorm out of that. But we're going to be dealing with rain, periods of rain during the day here on New Year's Day. And that kind of wraps up in the evening. Then we have some spotty showers, rain showers that are continue maybe later in the overnight into Sunday morning. And then this cold front's going to come through. There's a lot of cold air involved with this. And again, we were talking about yesterday that there was a possibility some models were showing some snow coming in with a wave developing along that boundary. They've given up on that idea, and I told you yesterday that probably don't hold your breath for that, because most of the ensembles were not in agreement with the operational runs that were showing that. So we'll continue to monitor this. I don't think it's going to end up happening. This would be overnight Sunday night if it were to occur, but I think you're just dealing with maybe a few snow showers behind that front as that moves through and the cold air rushes in. But the temperatures are going to drop off pretty considerably from what we're going to see for highs on Sunday. You might get into the lower 50s or thereabout on to start the day on Sunday, but the temperatures are going to drop pretty dramatically once that front moves through, and you're going to get breezy conditions are going to develop as that front moves through as well. Cold air advection-related wind, and we're getting back down to the 20s again overnight on Sunday night, even though it's going to be highs earlier in the day are going to be in the lower 50s. So it's going to be a pretty significant drop in temperatures, and with that, you'll get some wind with it. We'll get into the specifics of what the wind expectations are going to be when we get a little bit closer. At this range, it's more speculative. I think we're going to have some wind gusts there that are going to be easily 20 to 30 miles per hour. Might even be a little bit higher than that, depending on where this pressure gradient and temperature gradient sets up. Again, shorter term projection, so we'll get there with future updates. But then the colder air is going to settle in for a couple days. This is transient. Like I talked about yesterday, this is not a... It's a pattern change in the North Pacific, but it isn't quite going to get here on a semi-permanent basis until after the fact. So we're going to have a couple days of cold to start next week. It's going to be dry. The sun's going to come out both days, partly cloudy Monday, mostly sunny on Tuesday. Temperatures in the 30s for both days, and actually lower 30s on Monday. It looks like low to mid 30s, and then we'll get the mid to upper 30s here on Tuesday. After that point, I think once you get beyond Tuesday, when you get into the 5th, 6th, 7th time frame, we'll get another warm-up, but it's not going to be as dramatic, I think, as this current one we're dealing with on New Year's Day. But you can still have a few places get to the 50-degree mark right before that cold front, reinforcing cold front, moves through on the 7th, and then I think you have another cold check coming in here on the 8th. Is that going to be a permanent thing or semi-permanent? We don't know yet. It's going to depend on what happens in the North Pacific, and as far as the jet stream and how it responds in the western U.S., so we'll see how that works out. A lot of discouraging things in the long range that we've been noticing lately. So hopefully this isn't a repeat of some past really bad winters for you snow lovers, because it doesn't really look that great. It's every time we want to get a little pattern change, or it looks like it's going to be a semi-permanent type thing, there's always something that changes and kind of delays things a little bit. So we'll see how that works. But this that midweek. Or once we get to the midweek period, Wednesday, Thursday, mid to late week period next week, that was kind of expected. We head to a very transient, slightly above average temperature pattern right before that reinforcing cold front came through. So we'll see how that works out. But we have the long range on Friday. I'll update with the latest information I have at that point. But something's going to have to give sooner or later, I would think. But we've had some pretty shady winters here in the past year that I can recall at the top of my head, like 2011, 2012. That was not very good for snow lovers. 2016 wasn't very good either. 2015, 2016, you had one big savior snowstorm on January 22nd and 23rd that kind of saved winter. Other than that, it was horrible. So I'm seeing a lot of similarities with it so far this year, with the trace amounts at best of snow across most of our region, except for far northern areas, which really hasn't done too well there either. So we'll see. We'll see how this works out. We have plenty of winter to go, full 3 months almost of winter before we can. So don't go canceling it just yet. We'll just take these one at a time and see what comes at us, and we'll report it as it comes. I'm EPA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for December 29, 2021. Have a great Wednesday.